In this video, I want to show you Wized, a new no-code tool which allows you to add a web app functionality inside your Webflow project. Hi, I'm Nicola. I'm a Webflow developer with more than 7 years experience in web development. So in this video, as I told you at the beginning, I want to show you what is Wized. I want to show you how it works internally. Why? Because I think it's very important for you to understand how it works internally so you can better understand how to use it. So first, let's see the difference between front-end and back-end. Okay, when we talk about front-end development, front-end in general, we are talking about in the web space about the browser. Okay, Chrome, Safari. This is the client. This is the browser. This is the front-end that receive all the information from the backend. What is the backend? The backend is usually the server, where we store all the information, the database, and that we can ask information from the front end, from the browser. And another very, very important difference between front end and the backend is that the front end is public. Okay, is public. The backend is private. So let's imagine the front end like a public place, a public square. The back end is like inside our house, so we can do stuff inside our house that usually we don't do outside in public. Okay, and this is why it's important, because Wized works in the front end. So when we are working with private keys, for example with Stripe, it's not good to use inside the front end, because then everyone can see our keys. All the sensitive information we need to store inside the backend, because the backend is private, is closed, and we can do whatever we want. How Wized works is very simple. Okay, so we have the Wized app, what you see here, this one. This is the Wized app, and this Wized app, what do is basically generate a Wized.js file. Okay, I call it Wized.js file, maybe have another name, but just to understand, So Wized app will create this file, and this file is then served inside our page, our Webflow page. How? We need to open the project, and inside our page, or inside in general, where is the candy? Custom code. Here we have the script, the script that I told you Wized generate. We will import the script inside our Webflow project. So when the page is loaded inside the front end, this script is then also loaded inside our page, and then Wized is finally working. So we need to wait this file to be fetched. If this file is not fetched, Wized will not work. So this is very important to understand. So Wized is basically a visual layer of JavaScript. Okay, we can do fetch, we can manipulate data inside our project, our Webflow project. But then you can say, but also Webflow, you can generate JavaScript inside Webflow. It's true, but you can mostly create animation. Okay, so with JavaScript you can do a lot of stuff. You can create all this very cool animation, or you can create more functional stuff, like fetching information from the server, changing show on hide element. Okay, but now things are also changing inside Webflow, because we have logic, and logic is basically very similar to Wized. The only difference is that for now logic is very simple, and Wized is more advanced. But logic and Wized, they want to achieve the same goal, So you can create JavaScript visually. What you can do now with Webflow, and this is why Webflow is so powerful, is create HTML, CSS visually. So Webflow want to, I think, close all the circle. So not just the design, but also logic, and then data. Data is the CMS collection. Obviously, this is very simple, no? It's a very simple database. Something more powerful is, for instance, Xano. So like the perfect tool will be a fusion between Webflow for the designer, no? For creating amazing layouts, and then Wized for the logic, powerful logic, and then Xano as a database. No, like now we can do this with all these three tools, but what Webflow want to do, I think, is to create this one tool that can do everything. This is my note. Let's go back to Wized. To use Wized is very simple. After we set up the file, the Wized.js file inside our project, we need just to connect each element, so then Wized know what element is the Wized element that then we can manipulate inside the Wized app. How we can do that? Very simple. We can just create a custom attribute, and this is is a must. You need to create in this way, and then we can choose the name. Let's see this in practice. I have a few elements here, for example, this tweet, photo, let's see, like this, or maybe this, image wrapper. Okay, we have, new Twitter user image. So then inside Wized, I will see this new tweet user image, and this for every element inside the Webflow project. Okay, this is very important. Let's go inside the Wized app and inside action, tweet, for example, apply to, and then we can see all the attributes that I create inside our Webflow project. So as you can see, it's very important to create the name in the right way, otherwise it can become difficult to find. That's why FinSuite suggests to use the client first name. Okay, that's why I have home, then feed, home user image. So I know that if this element is inside the home page, I need to first search for home, and then I will be more specific and more specific and more specific. Then in the side nav we have my apps, so we can connect all our app. We have, for example, Airtable, Stripe, REST. If we need to connect Wized to a custom server that is not a famous no-code tool, so you need to use API, the REST API, Canonic, Xano, Notion, Firebase, Supabase for real-time data, Zapier, and Make. So we can connect our app, and after we connect the app, we can use it inside our data in. So when we need to fetch the data from the server, from the app, then we have action to start, for example, a fetch to do all the hide, show element, to manipulate basically the elements. And data out is the opposite of data in, so we can send to the server our data. For example, when I need to create a new tweet, I will send the tweet at my Xano server, creating with a post. Then I have put and I have a delete. These are the verbs to communicate with the server. And we will see all this in another video, so I will go more deep, and we will see why and when we can choose one or another one. Then we have the authentication. Basically, this is that can help you, to create all the action, create a new user, login, and load user based on the app that we choose. So in this case, I will use Xano. And then in the settings, we can change, and we have backups, embed code. This is the code that we need to use inside our Webflow project. Domain, branding, the plan that we're using. Another important section is the page data, so we can see all the requests, and in general we have all the variables. Okay, variables are just like a little box where we can store information. Then we have the navigation variable. So these are all the variables that come from the URL. Okay, inside the URL we can send data just to communicate with another page. So in this area, this navigation section, we can get all these variables from the URL. Then we have cookies. Cookies, the difference between variables. A cookie is that the cookie can, like, if I will create one, lifetime, we have 1 year, 1 month, 1 week. So the cookie will survive after the page refresh. And this is very important. For example, like I'm using now in this app, I will store the user token. So even if the page refresh, the user token is there. Where? Inside our browser memory. In the other hand, all the variable, when we refresh the page, they disappear because they live inside the session, not inside the web app session, and then they go away. And last, we have the input field. So all the inputs that we have in our project. For example, this is an input. This is a form input. So the name is new tweet input, and it's here. Okay, new tweet input. All the input are here. And then we have the debugger, and this is still not working, but the debugger will help us to find the error in our project. Then we have this like bar on the top, and it's important because every time we change or we add a new attribute inside our Webflow project, every time we create a new custom attribute, we need to first publish the project and then inside Wized refresh the attributes. Okay, so we then will see the attribute here, or we can just refresh the page. In this part we can see all the pages, and then in the other side we have the X-ray, just to see all the elements that we have defined in our project. Refresh attribute already have told. These to do and undo the changes, save and preview, just to check our project. Okay, and something very cool about Wized is that when we are working in the staging, in the testing mode, every time we create a new action, a new data out, this is automatically saved and is ready in our project. So in our this is the project that I use for staging, because I have the webflow.io domain, subdomain, and it's ready. So I don't need to publish the project, because the publish is just when we need to add the production. So when we add a custom domain, like, I don't know, nocode, Twitter, nocode.com, so then I need to publish. But when it's in staging, in development mode, it's just this. It's very, I like this because it's immediate. Okay, so for this video it's all, and I just want to recap, okay, what you have said. And what is Wized in a few words? Wized is, like we said before, basically just a JavaScript file that the Wized app generates for us, and then this file is fetched inside our page. Okay, every time we go in a Webflow page, the page is fetched in the front end. Okay, and then Wized can finally work. But as we said before, Wized works in the front end. Okay, so every time we need to hide, for example, sensitive information is not a good place. We need to use the backend. Or another case is, for example, if we need to create a login or like a protect area in our project, we can do that with Wized, but something very important to understand is that I can't protect really the page, okay? Because the page, like we said before, Wized will start to work after it's fetched. So when the page arrives to the browser, it's there. If we want to protect, I don't know, like a blog from an article from our blog, that article is fetched in our project. So if I go inside inspect, just an example, network. Here I can, if I refresh the page, like here, I can see all the milliseconds what is happening in the browser. So if I want to really see the page, I just can go at the beginning here and I will see the page. But Wized is very good to protect, for example, data from API. So if the API is protected from the server, then we can do nothing. So Wized is perfect for that. But if we need to protect data like a static page, like a static content, so then the best option is like use the Webflow membership, because Webflow membership protect the data in the server, okay? And that's why here you can see Webflow protect the content inside the server, because Webflow obviously have control on the server. Wized, for now, no. Okay, in the next video we will go more. I want to show you the project that I was working on inside Wized is the clone of the Twitter, where you can sign in, and then we have the page with all the tweets. It's not finished yet, but I hope I will finish very soon. And like always, you can subscribe to don't miss the next video. Please let me know what do you think about Wized. If you have question, obviously I didn't cover everything because this is a big topic. Wized open the doors to the web app development that can be very complex. So let me know what do you think, a comment, and see you in the next video.